Yeah, hi there, and these comments, I'm going to just use your initials SBR, and I am Micheal Buckhoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the Toefl IBT. And you say, hi Micheal, I am from Kosovo state. It's a small state, maybe you have heard about it, I have. And I'm learning English by American soldier. These soldiers come from different state. You say, today I saw your YouTube interview for the TOEFL test. Really, when I saw 106 points, I thought, how she got these points? You say, then here in Kosovo, my friends I know, they got 63 or 70. Can you tell me how to get this score? Everybody's a little bit different. I'm going to use your nickname here, Saba. And it just really depends on what your experience is. If you want to get over 100, usually, from my experience, a lot of these test takers have been using English for more than 10 years. Typically, they speak English in the home from 8 or 9 years of age. They've been reading a lot, been watching a lot of movies over the last few years, and maybe they spend about 3 or 4 weeks directly studying the TOEFL right before they take the exam. But typically, someone who gets over 100 has been using the language for a very long time. That is my own observation of that, right? Now, I can help you. I mean, the question is, you may not be able to get 100 immediately, but you can definitely improve your academic English. And here's how you do it. There's really 3 basic things you can do that are going to be effective in helping you improve your academic English, Saba. First of all, you want to engage in a regular routine of reading about 45 to 60 minutes every day. If you have a newspaper, you can read that. If you have a magazine, read that. It's also important to read longer books. This helps you get more used to the English language. You will be able to concentrate better, your comprehension will be better, but you simply need to read. Now, maybe in the beginning, the first time you try this suggestion, maybe you can only read for 10 or 15 minutes and then you cannot concentrate anymore. That's okay. Then the next day, try to go a little bit longer. But ultimately, your goal is to try to read for about 45 to 60 minutes every day for several months. This is very, very important. Number 2, you also want to practice your listening. You want to practice listening maybe 45 to 60 minutes every day. This is also very important. Now, you can, if you have English TV, you can practice listening to news, documentary, history, and especially science programs. Now, if you don't have English TV, you can go on the internet. I have 3 suggestions for you, Saba. You can practice, the website is called National Public Radio. You can go on the internet, Google, you can find that. The second website is called TED Talks. It's a good website, has a lot of videos, a lot of different topics ranging from academic to cultural to educational and so on. And the third website, if you want to directly test your comprehension, you can go to Randall's Cyber Listening Lab. And that also has some really good practice to help you with your listening skills. Now, you're not done yet, though, with these first 2 areas. Now, as you're doing your reading and your listening practice, this is about an hour and a half a day. You want to do this for several months before you start getting good results. It takes time, right? So focus in your notes. Try to get notes on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, using your notes, you can write a 250-word summary. My recommendation is to start writing about 3 academic summaries every week of these reading and listening passages. That gives you about 750 words of writing every week. This is very important now. You're not just doing the reading and the listening, you're now doing what's called integrated writing practice. This will have a very big effect on your overall TOEFL score and also on the integrated writing section. Now, of course, in the beginning, your notes will not be complete, not even accurate, but you'll get better over time as you practice. You really will. Now, also, you can, if you want to practice speaking, which I think is also important, you can do 3 to 5 academic summaries, oral summaries every week, where you speak about the reading and the listening passages. And this is also important. I even recommend that you record yourself answering or explaining that information. So that's very important. So that's the first 2 things. Now, the third thing you can do is I recommend about 1 to 2 hours using my online TOEFL course every day. This is very important. My recommendation for you, because a lot of the people you're talking to, their scores are between 63 and 70, so to help you get over 100, here's what I recommend. The first thing you want to do is to go through the grammar, actually go through the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar parts of my course. Those are the first 3 sections. And you want to complete those first 3 sections of my course first. This is going to help you build your vocabulary, your pronunciation, and your grammar. What you can do is you can use a calendar, and each day you can study a lesson in each category. For example, let's say it's Monday, you can do vocabulary lesson 1, you can do pronunciation lesson 1, and you can do grammar lesson number 1. So you do 3 specific lessons on that day. If you have more time, you can go back to the vocabulary lesson, maybe 2. So each day you're doing a little bit of practice in all 3 areas. Why do I recommend that? It'll keep the brain fresh, you won't burn out, you'll get a variety of materials. Now, once you've gone through all the lessons in those first 3 areas of my course, then move to the listening and the reading areas of my course. Again, each day you'll schedule lessons that relate to either listening or reading. So you do listening 1, then reading 1. Then the next day you go listening lesson 2, reading lesson 2, and so on, until you have completed all of those lessons. Now, it's absolutely critical that you work on improving your reading speed. My online TOEFL course will help you improve your reading speed to a minimum of 300 words per minute with 60 to 80% comprehension. And guess what? Faster readers have better comprehension than slower readers. They really do. So it's very important. So once you've done the listening and the reading lessons in my online course, then you want to move to the writing and the speaking areas. Again, you'll do the same thing using your calendar. You'll do writing lesson 1, then speaking lesson 1. Then you'll go writing lesson 2, speaking lesson 2. So again, you're trying to give yourself a variety. But the main thing is, during the pronunciation, writing, and speaking parts of my course, you will start posting practice tests online so you can get feedback from me. This is very, very important for you, because there's no way for you to know what you need to do to get better unless you start completing practice tests. And my website has many, many practice tests. Now, in the case of the vocabulary, grammar, reading, and listening, all of those practice tests, they are scored automatically online after you complete them. So you don't have to wait for me on those. You can do those on your own. But you have to wait maybe about 24 hours until you get feedback from me on the pronunciation, writing, and speaking practice tests. So there you go. That's pretty much how you do it. So how do you get over 100? You follow those 3 suggestions. You have the reading practice, you have the listening practice. Don't forget, you're writing 3 academic summaries every week. You're also giving maybe 3 to 5 oral summaries every week based on those reading and listening passages. And then you're also spending 1 to 2 hours at my online TOEFL course going over, first of all, the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar lessons. Then you'll go over my reading and my listening lessons. And finally, you'll complete the writing and the speaking lessons of my course. That's it. So in time, you can reach your goal. Now the question is, how quickly can you reach your goal, Saba? It's a good question, right? So you can typically expect, if you follow my suggestions exactly, you can probably expect about 5 to 10 points in your overall TOEFL score for each month that you study. Right? So let's say your TOEFL score right now is 70. If you want to get over 100, you're probably looking anywhere from 3 to 6 months before you can reach your goal. You can do it. It's just going to take time, right? A very consistent, methodical effort on your part. Do you believe it? You got to believe it. You've probably seen some of my videos. You're like, well, I can't do this. You can do this. You will do this. It is possible. Anyway, thank you very much for your questions, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.